Folks, it's your man Manny, and I'm here with some puppies. And I want to do a video talking about building up confidence in puppies, but also just dealing with fear with dogs and food. And oftentimes people are bringing me dogs, they're scared of this, they're scared of that. I'm like trying to explain to the person, look, there was a first time that this happened. And when it happened, there was no food around to tell the dog this was a good thing. So here you have some young dogs that I introduced to this leaf blower. And what I did is I just threw a bunch of food, a bunch of treats on the ground. And you can see Cooper is here. He's going, oh, okay, treats, cool. Now, both these dogs are pretty confident dogs. So, we could start with a leaf blower. But if you have a nervous dog, you might have to start with just putting some food on the ground and then, walking away from them or something. Or maybe, putting a food on the ground and shutting the door or something and seeing if they'll eat it when the door slams. So what I do is I blow the leaf blower a little bit at a time. Some leaves. And then I wait for a second. And I let the dog understand, hey, it's no big deal. Like, it's not going to overwhelm you. And the dog goes back to eating food again. Now, the other thing that this exercise does, what we call feeding the chickens, is it just helps your dog figure out that, finding food on the ground can be very engaging, and it creates a really curious kind of mind state. So, like, sometimes the dog's scared and you're feeding them from your hand, and that's great. But this here is going to create more curiosity and more exploration, a feeling of kind of exploration and using their nose and moving around dynamically, having to find the food. And, if you have a dog that's clingy, or maybe you have a dog that gets overly fixated on things, this can be really helpful because looking for food on the ground, it can draw the dog away from you, and it can also be a lot more interesting to the dog than taking food from your hand. Blow the leaf blower a little more. And then we stop. We let these guys eat some more food. What's up, Coop? Now you can see Cooper's got lower food drive. Lacey has a higher food drive. And this is also, a cool thing you can do when you start sprinkling the food is it'll give you kind of an idea of how motivated your dog is for food. Is simply sprinkling the food too much work for them and they're not going to eat the food? For Cooper here, we're throwing treats on the ground and he's just going, meh, treats, schmeats. But it kind of shows you where the dog's at. You can see Lacey here is like a freaking shark with the food. And that's because, her owners, they've been working on building up food motivation for the last few weeks with her. Cooper's coming along. The other thing this does with multiple dogs is it's helping condition the dog to learn how to take food around other dogs. So this can help a dog understand, hey, sometimes food might fall on the ground. It's okay. There's plenty of food to go around. But imagine you ever do this and then one day a piece of chicken drops on the ground and you got two dogs and they're going, oh my God, this is the only time food will ever be on the ground. It's the only piece. Here you go. Yeah, guys, we practiced this. It was just kibble and a few treats here and there. What's up, Coop? Cooper's funny here because actually he wants to just take the food from me. Come on, buddy. And isn't that interesting just to see the different personalities? Good boy, huh? Come on, Coop. But the food motivation with this thing is so crazy. She just almost took my fingers off for her food. So a lot of times when you're dealing with fear, the big thing you want to think about is how can I make my dog more motivated for food? How can I make it so that my dog will take food anytime, any place? And we deal with that with this princess right here. Kira is the dog that, she's dog reactive, but there is a little bit of fear. There is a little bit of insecurity. She's not necessarily, they say all aggression comes from fear, and there is a little bit of fear there with her. And, I'd like to see her owners build up more food motivation with her, so she can be more confident and also have more engagement. Look at the difference here when I show you these two dogs. Lacey, come on. Good. Lacey, come. Yes. And look at the varying degrees of food motivation. I mean, this one is just going crazy. Oh my God, give me that food, give me the food, give me the food. And this guy's like, food schmood, food's good. Like he's got good motivation, okay? But what we have to realize is the main reason why one of these dogs was a little bit more apprehensive of the leaf blower and one of these dogs was not is food motivation. That's the only reason why. This one has more food motivation and he does not. And so when the food came out, she immediately was like, I know what to do. Let's go to town. Let's eat the food. And when the food came out for him, he was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Food's not that important for me, I might want to think about things. I might want to ponder. I might want to, just think about things a little more instead of just going, who cares, man? There's food. I prefer to get my young dogs especially like this. So anytime anything comes up that scares them, I just immediately pull out a bunch of food. And within 2 or 3 times, the dog understands. Leaf blower, ear cleaning, whatever it is, medication. The dog just goes, oh, I know how it is. If he pulls out a ton of food, man, that's the time to feel good. And get Lacey here just going to town. Lacey, come. Yes. You can also practice recalling the dog from this exercise, and that's a great way to practice recall. Cooper, come. Yes. Lacey's like, I'm stealing that food. That's his, Lacey. You're not stealing it. Lacey, break. Lacey, come. Yes. Nice. Oh. So that's all, folks. This is an exercise. We call this feeding the chickens. And this is a great exercise you can do with any dog, any age. Has a lot of benefits, as we've talked about. There's a lot of ways you can integrate this into, whatever type of training you're doing or whatever type of age you're at with your dog. I got dogs where I just do this when I leave the house because it takes 20, 30 minutes for them to eat their kibble. And it's just more enjoyable for them. They get to spend their time eating their kibble, finding it, like they would in nature, where they'd have to go around and find bugs or find animals to eat, find roots, find berries. And so, whether you're just doing it because you want something to fulfill your dog for 20 or 30 minutes, or whether you're doing it for, to help with fear or assessing food motivation, it's a great exercise, something I think everybody should try. Remember, as always, folks, you can always find me online, Follow Leader Canine. And, of course, I got my poetry book on Amazon, Loving, Leading, and Losing, Stories from the Dogs That Trained Me. Your dog's lucky to have you, folks. And until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.